When the new administration took office in January, Director of Communications Troy Torres said that the administration was facing a $22 million cash shortfall, $14 million in floated checks, primarily payroll checks with no money in the bank to cover them, and another $8 million taken from restricted federal accounts by the Camacho administration. They narrowly avoided a payless payday.
So, instead of money's going to pay for the critical operations, we had to address the float amount first, which was around $14 million. So you're talking about cash from current year revenues that are going to pay down this float as opposed to paying for operations.
The cash that's supposed to go for tax refunds is funding the operational shortfalls of the government of Guam and the checks that were floated and the interfund borrowings from the restricted cash accounts. Yes. This is what the tax refund money is going to, and if it didn't go to these purposes, then we'd either bounce $14 million in checks,
payless paydays.
Have payless paydays.
Tomorrow, the administration will ask for approval from the legislature to spend $30 million more to get through the rest of this fiscal year.
What will you ask the legislature for?
A supplemental authorization to spend on the shortfalls of the operations of the government of about $30 million.
Where are you going to find that money?
The fiscal team still is crunching the numbers. The most difficult part of a Supplemental Appropriations Act is finding the revenues to fund the supplemental needs.
Torres said the fiscal team has identified $30 million in revenues already, separate from cash, and devised some creative solutions to get that money.
We've identified $30 million in revenues.
In revenues?
Yes.
Okay.
And wholly separate from cash. The legislature needs to approve it because these are obligations that the legislature did not fund in the fiscal year 2011 budget.
And the administration is rejecting the claims from some lawmakers that GovGuam has collected $4 million more than projected in revenues so far this fiscal year. Torres says there was just a $1.3 million excess as of March 31st. And by the end of the year, the administration is projecting a $22 million shortfall.
At the end of the day, there's just not enough money coming into the government of Guam to fund its operations, and that doesn't even include funding its mandates, but to fund its operations as established in the law and to pay for tax refunds. Something's got to give.